Lights.
Camera.
Galley.
Hello folks and welcome back to Four Corners of the Galley. And this time we've created a new show and it's called Totally Bingin'. And basically it's a tribute to all of the television shows nowadays, you know, with Netflix and Hulu and everybody else starting up this thing where you binge watch a show, even the old classic shows that are on television when you wait till they go on Netflix or Hulu and you go back and watch it. And you watch the whole series at once. So basically we're going to watch a whole season of a show and then review it for you. Now in this edition we're going to do
Defenders.
Yeah, Netflix Defenders. Now, we're all going to go back and hit Daredevil Season 1 and 2, Jessica Jones 1, Luke Cage 1, and Iron Fist 1. But this time, since they put them all together, they gave them 8 episodes, they dropped in the middle of summer, they gave us the Defenders.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's move along. So, what'd you think, man? What's your overall on the Defenders?
I give it a 3 out of 5.
All right, well, what's your overall feelings on it?
It was good. I was expecting more, but it was good. Some parts were slow, but overall I think it was solid. All
right, very cool. For me, I feel like the Defenders left a lot on the table. I give it a lower score. I give it only a 2.75 out of 5. But I felt like the Defenders, you get all the greatness of them coming together and you get the 4 big superheroes and you've been waiting for it and you expected it and it just doesn't pay off where it should. I mean, the thing only takes place over 8 days and it's really, you know, pushed together in their rush and you're excited about that. But like a lot of the Netflix series, I felt like it was a couple episodes too long. I felt like it only should have been 6. I was kind of disappointed on the overall value on really what I felt like Defenders was. I mean, I did love Daredevil, Luke Cage, the interactions of Jessica Jones. I mean, Iron Fist, I don't know. Bad acting, that one I'm a little lost on. But I just felt like it did leave a lot on the table. So, of all that, what would be your favorite character, basically, out of the whole show of the Defenders? What would gravitate to you the most?
Probably Daredevil still.
Yeah, Daredevil was great. Where I felt like the Defenders lost me is they basically took Iron Fist Season 1 and they continued the story for the first 4 episodes is basically all about Iron Fist. Well, actually, almost the whole show is about Iron Fist and his journey and story, and that just is not good when Iron Fist Season 1 was just so bad. I just felt like they didn't take the good elements from Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Iron Man and like blend them all together. I love that still the main bad guy was the Hand who has crossed over. That was great. Yeah. No arguments for me. Elektra being basically what's her Black Mask?
Black Sky.
Black Sky, thank you. Black Sky. And she's the weapon. That was fabulous. Like, she was great. That was great. But it was so Danny Rand still. I mean, I thank God they didn't bring any of the brother and sister along or any of the family. Thank God for that. I mean,
they avoided those characters.
They did. They only brought around his girl, which was cool. I liked her, Jessica Chastain from Game of Thrones fame when she was a Sand Snake. I liked her too. I thought she was actually very good part of the group they brought along because she was a ninja and she does have more story to her, and they did expand on her story, which I thought was cool. But a lot of the other sidekicks I felt like were just a little too much of them. I mean,
they wanted to include the sidekick, showing that they had all of them in here, but really only like 1 or 2 of them really got any story.
Well, that really needed to be there. You only really needed Misty May, she was great, and she's a cop, and she was great. You got Rosario Dawson's character, Claire. That's perfect. She's the connecting tissue between all 4 shows. I have no issue with her.
Which they didn't even expand upon. She only connected Iron Fist and Luke Cage. They didn't really talk about Jessica Jones or Daredevil, how she connected to them, so it's kind of was a bummer. But
she knew them all, and all of them knew them. I mean, but they went into Trish and Trish talk from Jessica Jones. I just thought that was just unnecessary. I did like her roommate or her guy that lives in the building that takes care of her. Like he didn't have that many scenes, but he was great for what he was, and that's what you needed to do. I felt like they should have pulled back Trish talk. Just a little too much of that. Misty May was great. Foggy and Claire. No, Foggy and Vanessa. Vanessa, right? No.
Her name, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, great. Now you don't know her name. Yeah. Rebecca, Vanessa, one of those names. She was a little annoying, but Foggy was cool. I mean, I did like it. And then the craziest thing to me was I finally got the scene that I wanted. I wanted in Luke Cage where they waited to Defenders when Foggy jumps in on Luke and goes, "Don't say another word. I'm your lawyer. I'm here to help you." I was hoping it would be Murdoch who would do it, but, it's still kind of cool. I felt like the first 4 episodes were amazing. They really set the table right. They really got it good, and they got it good, and then they set them up, and they put them in places, and they had their cool little hallway fight scene, and they ran into Elektra, and Sigourney Weaver as the villain. She was great as the main hand lady, but it just falls apart after that. I don't know.
It doesn't keep the momentum.
Yeah, I feel like it just loses steam on basically what they're really going for. Was there any side character that you thought was really good?
Probably the Iron Fist chick. I forgot her name, but she was the strongest side character because she was trying to be more involved in the group, and it actually worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
But other than that, any other side characters didn't really get much shine in the show.
Yeah, I like Misty. I thought she was dope, and they even spoiler alert. I mean, we are doing spoilers as it is. They went deep into her story and gave her the comic book where she gets her arm cut off, and then she ends up with a robot arm. So that's cool. I'm hoping that really enhances sooner and later and brings some stuff into it. I liked it. I mean, to me, the biggest disappointment was the huge battle at the end in episode 8 where they all get together and they finally battling. It just looked really cheesy. The only one who looks the great one is freaking Daredevil. He's designed for hand-on-hand. Even Luke Cage, who I love, he looked like just a big brute Hulk that guys weren't moving fast enough, where he was trying to fight a bunch of ninjas and he was like the Hulk trying to grab him, but he wasn't fast enough. I don't know, maybe that's something they could definitely work on. I felt like I really wasn't feeling it. There were great team interaction scenes that I thought were great.
Jessica Jones has some amazing interactions with everybody.
Yeah, she does.
She has probably the best dialogue in the show.
Yeah, she was really good. I actually like Jessica Jones a lot. She was good. I thought she was a good for what she was, and I liked how the guys were scared of her, and she freaked them all out, and I thought that was great. I feel like still the lowest part of this whole show, and it's still based on Danny Rand and just how they've just botched this whole Iron Fist story and what the Iron Fist is, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It just kind of doesn't really come back from it. So all right, so we've gone over that. Anything really good that you feel like stand out, or anything that
the earlier fight scenes were really good.
Yes, I agree. The earlier fight scenes are very good.
Yeah, the hallway fight scene was really good.
Yes, they're good at hallway.
Even the restaurant fight scene, which is later on, was also really good.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think I think the villains were interesting. Here's a spoiler. They just weren't fleshed out enough. Like, some of them were just there to be there, while others were actually had some monologues there, and they actually were interesting. But then, unfortunately, spoiler, they get killed off, like some characters. But it's interesting to see how some of the villains and some of the heroes survive the end. I'll say.
Exactly. Well, let's get into the biggest spoiler of them all. Basically the ending.
Yeah.
So you kind of know they were going towards something, and then they hit you with the whole Daredevil doesn't leave and stays behind and goes with Elektra.
Which makes sense.
True.
Makes sense.
And then, they make it seem like they kill him, and I just knew they weren't going to kill him. Did you feel like they were going to kill him?
Nah. I was wondering what direction they were going with, because if I remember from the comic book, there's only one Daredevil, and I was wondering what they were trying to pull with this. Mm-hmm. But I think I knew that they weren't going to kill him. I was wondering about the other characters who were also down there too, how they were going to work with that.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll ever bring like Elektra. They definitely gave her the full spectrum. I mean, she went from the love interest to falling in love to helping out Daredevil in season 2 to being the bad guy in this one to re-falling in love, and then ultimately being almost basically the leader of the hand.
Yeah.
And then still dying in the end. She might come back, but I really truly think she's gone. The Daredevil little twist at the end, I wasn't really feeling it. It is cool, but I do like that they showed him at the end, so they played it off, and they already brought him back. He is going to do that born again Daredevil, which could be really dope, which I'm excited about. I mean, so far Daredevil is just this much above everybody else, and then Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are good shows, but they could use a lot of work. I'm really hoping they put Luke Cage and Iron Fist together in Heroes for Hire. That'd be dope. I do love Iron Fist at the end, standing up there like Daredevil in that classic green suit. He looked really cool. I give him that. That was finally something good. But
yeah.
It definitely, it's got a lot of room for improvement. Let's not get this wrong. We think the Marvel Netflix series is amazing. I like the grittiness. I love the street level that they're giving it. It's a great set of series. We just want it to be the best, and that's just where we're seeing it. And we were really pumped for Defenders. And I definitely felt like we were definitely disappointed. What things would you like to see in the future? What they would do, maybe?
If they were ever going to do a sequel to the Defenders, like a Defenders 2, I would hope some of the characters along the way would get fleshed out more, so when it comes back, they will just be more interactions, better interactions, and hopefully Iron Fist gets way better in the future, and that he's actually, the story isn't centered around him, maybe centered around somebody else, somebody new, maybe Jessica Jones villain, maybe a Luke Cage villain.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Daredevil, I think Daredevil is fine. He has the two best. He has the best show out of all of them. So I wouldn't want a main villain for the Defenders sequel from Daredevil. I think he can carry on like big villain names if he was like there to help him. Like he's like the big leader, powerful guy who helps him out. Like I see him like that kind of character.
Well, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I wanted to go full board. I wanted to be Defenders versus Kingpin. I wanted to go all the way. I want them to bring Kingpin back, and I want Kingpin to like. I don't think we're gonna get obviously the comic book way where he helps create the Sinister Six and brings some Spider-Man. We're not gonna get that, but if we can get like a combination of maybe all four characters' worst villains, where Kingpin convincing them, and that's how they do Defenders 2, that would be dope. So like Kingpin's on top, convincing all of their villains and bring them all together, so they only have to reunite again because the Kingpin has brought their worst nightmare to life. I mean, that's just kind of where I'm hoping it goes towards, but I am excited. They are adding probably, if not, it's definitely my second favorite of the group, which is, other than Daredevil, is Punisher's coming out next.
Yep.
And oh my goodness, I'm excited. John Bernthal murdered that show in season 2 of Daredevil. We'll review that later, but man, that is the next big Netflix one. That should help. And we did forget about Punisher. He might be a part of the Defenders later.
There was a lot of speculation if he was going to be part of this one. Unfortunately, he's not.
Yeah.
So all those Punisher fans will have to wait till the Punisher show, or even the Defenders sequel, or maybe he'll even cross over to other characters. Maybe he'll cross, because there's a lot of possibility with him, like him and Luke Cage, the Bulletproof Man versus him. That would be real interesting if they ever do it.
Yeah, there's a lot to do, and with Punisher joining, I think that's just perfect. Yeah. Bernthal was just phenomenal. Yeah. So that's our review for Totally Binging Defenders. He gives it a 3. I got a 2.75. I definitely feel like it is worth the binge. It is worth the binge. It's only 8 episodes.
It's very short.
It won't take you long.
Terrible. Yeah. But it's still entertaining.
You will walk out of it with a smile. You'll probably give it a good 2-day binge or 3-day binge if you're taking your time with it. It doesn't take long because the episodes are only like 40-45 minutes. Yeah. There's no commercials.
Longest maybe an hour.
Yeah, so I definitely give it the thumbs up for the binge.
Yeah, thumbs up too.
Yeah, definitely. All right, folks. Well, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this inaugural episode of Four Corners of the Galley, Totally Binging. Yeah. For RG, I'm PBO. See you next time, guys. Good night, Ted.
See you next time.